We don't need a bunch of cats in here. Yeah, looking in the mirror. Do I look good? I got my extra bands on. I got my other shoes on. We need more dogs.
And welcome back to the latest and greatest episode of the Shaving Points podcast. My name is Jayton May, joined as always by my co-host Quentin Crisco as we break down Championship Sunday coming at you. We'll go through the two games this weekend. Got a little trivia question here to start it out. You want to give the people the trivia question, then we'll go over it later on in the episode?
Yeah, and we'll have another one for you guys later too. But first one, actually, I just realized I have the wrong one up. So Josh Allen has lost 5 playoff games in his career. Can you name the QBs he lost those 5 games to? And we're going to talk through the Eagles Commanders game first, and then we'll get to the answer to that. Throw your answers in the comments if you see it.
Yeah.
If you got the answer, let us know. We'll let you know if you're right.
Yeah. And then what was your other question?
The second one is there have been 5 rookie QBs to start a conference championship game. Can you name those 5 QBs?
We didn't go over this one in the pre-show. I kind of want to try that one.
Yeah, I was trying to get you to look at it, and I was like, yeah, and then we'll do the second one. Yeah, the second one. But
I got you. So 5 QBs. We'll just knock this one out right now. If you're in the chat, let us know. If you're watching on YouTube, who is it? Okay. Are we counting Jaden Daniels in this?
Oh, you want to knock this out right now? No, we are not counting Jaden Daniels.
Not so. Up to this point, 5 QBs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ben Roethlisberger.
Got it.
Dan Marino.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Not Cam. Oh, Brock Purdy.
2.
Can I get an era?
I mean, it's all post 1999.
Oh, okay. Not paid. Tom Brady.
Mm-mm.
Oh, was that year 2 for him?
Yep.
See, the year 2s is what get me because you got Mahomes year 2, Brady year 2. Eagles didn't do it with Wentz, did they? No.
No, sir.
Let's see here. Conference that they played in college for one of them.
Pac-12.
Pac-12 for one of them. Okay. Not Aaron Rodgers. Not Jared Goff.
Mm-mm.
Arizona State. I'm missing someone there. Utah. Damn. I don't even know if I could get this if you gave me the teams right now.
I'll give you some hints later on. We'll keep going with the first one, the Josh Allen one for now, and then as we get into the Buffalo KC game, we'll switch it up and give you guys
if I think of one, I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah, just throw it out there.
Taking Pac-12. It's not Marcus Mariota. All right. So first game, we have NFC Championship. We got the NFC Beast representing here. You have the Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia, 6.5 point favorites at home. And what's our total here?
47.5.
47.5. You have, I think, everybody in the world outside of Philadelphia is cheering for the Washington Commanders in this game. I think.
Hey, don't forget about South Jersey.
No, I'll forget about them. I think people are very split in the Chiefs-Bills game as far as who they want to win outside of their respected fan bases, obviously.
Really?
But
I feel like everyone's just rooting against the Chiefs in that one.
yeah, maybe. I feel like out of the 4 teams left, the Chiefs three-peat would be awesome. Bills winning their first one would be awesome. Commanders winning with Jaden Daniels would be awesome. I don't think that there's a story behind Philadelphia. I think everybody would just be like, "Wow, what a waste of a season." City. Yeah, I think that's what people would say.
Okay.
No excitement whatsoever. Everybody would be excited about any other outcome.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot less to be happy about for the Eagles, I guess you could say. People love Saquon. People love Saquon. People will say they're happy for Saquon.
Philly fans? Because I was going to say Penn State fans, but those are the same people.
They are a lot of the same people, but people, just football fans, love Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley has won you a fantasy championship before.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just feel like Nick Sirianni, nobody likes.
No, Nick Sirianni. No one in Philly likes Nick Sirianni.
People like Big Dom. People like Saquon. And I like Lane Johnson.
Yeah, Lane Johnson rules. I'd love to see Lane Johnson get another ring.
He's already got one, so I don't care about that. I'm just trying to talk about people.
Jordan Mailata. Jordan Mailata is really cool.
6 toes.
Yeah, he can sing too.
He can sing. As far as this game goes, we have a rookie starting in the conference championship game for the 6th time. We have Jalen Hurts, who feels like they have their most success whenever he doesn't have to throw the ball a whole lot, which is understandable with that offensive line and that running game. My question is, does Washington have the dogs to stop that running game?
They do, but do they have the dogs on the back end to still cover up Devonta Smith, Jay Brown, and Dallas Goedert while committing safeties down in the box?
They got Sanders still, who's played very good rookie, one of your favorites coming out last year.
Mm-hmm. His dog.
The dude from New Orleans who's been playing he's been playing really good these last couple of weeks coming off of hamstring.
Yeah.
They have a little bit of pass rush up front. Jeremy Chin, I think, is like one of the highest graded safeties in the playoffs.
Jeremy Chin is going to be your guy who's in the box. Like he is your extra man to stop Saquon.
Yeah.
Like that's his role.
So Washington feels like Team of Destiny. Like I can just picture the confetti falling on Washington in Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts walking off the field with that patented Jalen Hurts face, where
that goofy smile.
Yeah, and I could just see
Jalen Hurts. I was thinking Jaden Daniels. I'm sorry.
No, Jalen Hurts walking off the field. I can see Philadelphia players. I can see Saquon like crying on the bench because he like fumbled twice and he's never done that in a game before. Like I can visualize all these things. I can see the celebrations. I can see Dan Quinn with his backwards hat jumping up and down on the sidelines. Cliff Kingsbury, I don't know what he would look like as a winner, honestly, but I guess we'll find out on Sunday. It just feels like that's what's going to happen, doesn't it? Or no? You think it's all Philly?
I'm having a hard time seeing it. I think Washington makes it a really close game.
I'm just talking vibes.
I think Washington outperforms in pretty much every way you can here. But I don't think that's enough to win. But out in pure vibes, yeah. Like Washington has that feel right now.
Yes, and
it's almost like they're too young to know that they can't do this.
Yeah, Like, you're just going to have Cliff just slinging it, I think. I think he's just going to say, fuck it. Open it completely up. And is this the game? So, Kellen Moore's tried to really fuck them over a couple of times this year. They've just been too talented for it to matter.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the game where it matters? And Kellen
No.
Moore just shits down his leg?
I mean,
I could see Kellen Moore doing some dumb shit on the very first drive. Like, okay, we're going to start it out. Everybody thinks we're going to run the ball. We're going to play action, incomplete pass. Okay, well, we'll just run Saquon on second down and try to get like a 3rd and short. Stuffed. 3rd and 10, punt. Start the game out, 3 and out. Washington walks down the field, does it, and then he like, okay, we got to do something, get back in this game. And he tries an elaborate trip play, or he tries to throw the ball downfield with Jalen Hurts, picked off. Mike Sanders drill, like, and then before you know it, it's like 14-0, and they can't run Saquon 37 times.
yeah, that is not a position Philly wants to be in. I mean,
That's Kellen Moore.
That does scream Kellen Moore. Man,
Cowboys game last year versus the Packers. Cowboys were down like 28-0 before the game even started.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that happening.
I just don't know how. So here's where I'm at with it. Dan Quinn's going to gamble in this game.
Riverboat
Dan Quinn's going to gamble his ass off. They're going to leave run lanes unattended to max out other areas, and they're going to hope they're right. It's just a question of how many times they get burned for it versus how many times it works, and they can force the
Mark
Eagles
Sanchez
into clear passing situations. Yes, Mark Sanchez is one of them. One of our answers.
Oh. Was he the Pac-12 guy?
Yep, that he was. But so
okay.
The Commanders cannot stop the run unless they overcommit to it. So where I'm at is like, yes, Kellen Moore might take this thing off the rails for the Eagles, but man, he has a lot of answers in front of him of ways to fix it. When a team is overcommitting to the run like that, and you got the weapons that Philly has and the O-line that Philly has to pick up some of that, like, you just have a ton of answers. And if I'm being frank,
if Washington finds ways to take the ball away like they did against the Lions?
Maybe they do. Maybe they do. It's possible, but the Lions still put up over 30 points on them.
Yeah. But the Lions' offense is better than Philly's offense.
It is. So what? Philly's good for what? 28?
28. You only got to score 30.
I don't know if you have to score 30 when you got this defense that Philly has. And when Washington is missing their best offensive lineman, Sam Cosmi, who went out last week, and now Jalen Carter against the backup.
ACL Tyree.
Yeah, ACL Tyree. Exactly.
A seal Tyree.
Yeah. I mean, so like, let's look at the first 2 games of the season here. Like the first between these two, because they've already played each other twice.
They have played each other twice. And in those 2 games, Washington scored 18 and 36. Philadelphia scored 26 and 33. So we can assume Philly's going to hit that 30 range.
Yeah, that seems fair to me.
Do you remember the game on 11-17?
I do.
Didn't Washington have some red zone issues in that game?
Did they? I think you're right. I think they did. I remember the broad.
I think they settled for some field goals. And if I remember correctly, I think that game was a lot closer than a 12-point game, 8-point game. So am I wrong?
Washington, let's see, turned it over on downs in Philly territory once. Only had 1 field goal and a bunch of punts. They punted the crap out of that football. Yeah, so the Eagles shut them down for most of the game, pretty much. And the Eagles were up like 26-10 with 4 minutes left.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Jaden Daniels, what was that? Week 10 for him, week 11.
Something like that.
And then we have
He was dealing with the rib injury at the time, which can't be understated. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't running as much. 7
And
rushes
then-
for 18 yards in that game.
the other game. Was that supposed to be 12, 21, 24?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay. So both home teams have won this matchup so far. I think this Washington team.
Well, wait. We need to talk about that second game.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we weren't blowing past it because there's a
No.
lot to talk about there.
So second game, Kenny Pickett. Oh, Kenneth Pickett. How much did they run the ball in that game?
29 times with Saquon, 4 with Kenneth Gainwell, 3 with Hurts, 3 with Pickett. So what is that? 39 times?
Yes.
Versus 28 pass attempts?
And their offense looked good with Kenny Pickett. Or not good, but they were successful. They ran a successful offense with Kenny Pickett, I guess is the better way to put it. Maybe they win that game with Jalen Hurts. Maybe they don't. What do you think?
I mean,
Because Philly still played well in that game.
they were up 21-7 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then Hurts goes down. I think one of those touchdowns was after Hurts went down. It was just Saquon busting a 70-yard run. That was the whole drive. And then the rest of the game, like they struggled, like field goal.
Didn't Devonta
They don't
Smith
score
drop
another touchdown after.
Who
that.
dropped a big time pass in that game to lose? Devonta Smith? Or did they drop an interception?
I don't remember who.
They either dropped an interception or it was like a Devonta Smith drop late that would have ended the game.
Yeah, and they had to settle for a field goal instead, I think, because of that.
That could be it.
A field goal with like a minute 50. I think it was a first down, a minute 58 on the clock. They were in the 2 minutes and they couldn't, right at the 2 minute warning. And then they kicked the field goal because the guy dropped the first down pass.
Yeah. So if you're Philadelphia, you're sitting there saying, if we're fully healthy, there's no way these guys can beat us. And if you're Washington,
Well, and let me get a little bit into Vic Fangio. I love Vic Fangio. I think he's the best D coordinator in the NFL. But you know what? He gets conservative with a lead.
Dennis Allen's the best D coordinator in the NFL.
Well, Dennis Allen's awesome. But especially when you lose your starting quarterback, Vic starts to play a lot of prevent coverage, and that allows Washington to creep back into this game after being down 21-7. Like he just starts getting too conservative with it because they're going, we got no offense, we got no quarterback, we can't allow big plays. And they still allowed some big plays, but I think that there was more to that than just like Washington came back. I think there were some defensive calls that were really regrettable from Fangio in that game of going too safe with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is one of those games where everything tells you the Eagles should win this game, so that's why the Washington Commanders are going to win.
No, I mean, I am legitimate worried. Like I am betting Washington plus 6.5, and I'm betting the over because I think both teams will score, and I think it will be an oddly close game despite the talent differential. Like the talent differential between these two teams is as wide as it gets this late. Like this is one of the widest gaps I've seen in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like when the Giants played the Packers in the NFC Championship game, they went on to play the 17-0
right. Yeah.
Patriots.
No, I mean, you're right. It's like these guys are young, they're stupid, and they got nothing to lose. So like it's a little worrying. I mean, I do look at Philly's record versus playoff teams versus Washington's. I'm like, okay, well, that's a pretty clear indicator. Philly's 7-2 against playoff teams, while Washington's 3-4. 2 of those 3 wins came in the playoffs, which, you know, whether you want to call that hot hand or not, but ultimately, I think Jalen Carter will win this game.
Philadelphia lost to the Eagles, correct? Or Philadelphia lost to the Lions, correct?
I think,
Or did they play?
maybe I have to go check. Give me a
Philadelphia lost to the Buccaneers. Facts.
second. Yeah, Buccaneers and Commanders.
Do they only have 2 losses? No.
Yeah. To playoff teams.
Oh, playoff.
They also
teams.
lost to the Falcons, if you want to call them a playoff team.
Oh, yeah, Saquon dropped it. Yeah. But I thought they lost to the Lions, too, so I was going to say lost to the Lions, lost to the Bucks. Washington beat the Lions, beat the Bucks.
We were going with that.
Yeah. I got a question.
Yeah.
As a Bears fan, do you care at all if Jaden Daniels wins the Super Bowl this year?
I'm part of me is expecting it.
Yeah.
If in fact, because my logic of if Ryan Day can turn into a meme, he will turn into a meme, failed, makes me want to push all my chips into if the Chicago Bears can turn into a meme, they will turn into a meme.
Yes, absolutely. But I still think Caleb Williams is the better quarterback, but that's neither here nor there.
I said going into that draft, it wouldn't surprise me if Jaden Daniels had the best rookie year of all the quarterbacks, but I think Caleb will have the best career, and I think Dre May will have a better career. Now, that's looking pretty foolish because I did not expect Jaden Daniels to ever hit this level of play where he's carrying an offense to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, if he wins the Super Bowl, it's going to be pretty hard for them to pass him.
No. Well, I mean, I'm hitting this point where I'm sitting here like, man, I thought Jaden Daniels was going to be good, but I thought there would be a clear ceiling on how good that was.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he'd struggle as a rookie, but never really hit this high end level of play, and he's there. Like, he's doing it. If he never gets better than this, like that was my whole thing. I don't know if he's ever going to get better than what he is, but like, it's good enough right now.
Yeah, the limit does not exist.
Yeah, like
so. I'm so anti-Philly right now, so I'm not just. I don't know. I'm taking Washington money line. I'm taking the over in this game, I think.
Hey, I respect it.
I'm anyone but Philly. I'm wearing my Bills hat. I'm wearing my Chiefs jersey. I'm anyone but Philly.
Hey,
and for that to come true, we gotta go Washington here. And we got the Heisman winner. We have Terry McLaurin, Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler looking young. It's just team of destiny.
I mean, it is. I'll be honest. It is really hard to believe in a quarterback who's combined for 260 yards in his last 2 games. And that's Jalen Hurts. It's just really hard to buy into that.
Saquon gets banged up every year he's been in the NFL. Whether that means he's missed time or not, hasn't been banged up this year. This is the longest season he's ever played in the NFL. Looks like he's just getting stronger and stronger. So
it's probably also the fewest carries per game he's had.
Yeah, I mean, he does sit a lot.
I mean, actually, I don't know.
But
he has way more carries than he has had in a long time. So maybe I'm probably wrong about that. But he has 345 carries. But I feel like they've been smart about it.
But, I mean, you're still taking all those hits on those carries and then playing again the next week and then doing it again. Even if you're getting less carries, I mean, what's the difference between getting hit by a 300-pound defensive lineman 20 times versus 23 times?
Yeah, I mean, actually, so on total touches, he is just slightly above his career high, but he's right where he was as a rookie, pretty much, and right where he was in 2022 on total touches. And honestly, the hits are probably not as bad just because he has he has Jalen Hurts, who's a real threat there
Well,
on
he
the
breaks it.
RPO
He
and on
break
the read
he breaks it.
option.
He breaks it for a touchdown, like 10% of
Yeah.
his touches.
Yeah.
So you basically take away 10% of those touches
Yeah.
as far as hits go.
I can't believe his attempts are that high. I feel like every time I watch him, they keep putting in Kenneth Gainwell, and I'm like, I have a prop on Saquon, and I'm like just sweating it.
Yeah. No, I think this will be fun. If you want to talk player props, I mean, I definitely think you're taking Saquon over. I think you're taking Jalen Hurts passing under.
Taking Dallas Goedert over receptions.
Dallas Goedert over receptions. I mean, so Jalen Hurts' best game in the playoffs was the Super Bowl where they lost. The games where he's asked to do less is when they're most successful.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Jalen Hurts under. Maybe over on his rushing. Over on rushing for quarterbacks in the playoffs seems like a cheat code. Except running quarterbacks, like it's not very good for guys like Lamar, Jaden Daniels, because the number's so outrageously high.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jaden Daniels last week was like 65.
And he got like 58, and I had
Yeah.
65 because I thought if that game was closer, I think he would have torched that number.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, too. When it's such a high number like that, it's like if you have a game where you get a lead, you're not going to be running your star quarterback.
Yeah.
But if it's close, you're
Mhm.
absolutely going to hit the number.
He
because
even hit their. A lot of times it comes down to their decision. You know, it's a scramble. Like it's not.
Yeah. But I'm saying if in a game like that, you start running the ball more, you start doing
Mhm.
quick screens. Like you don't risk the drop back for one, because between sacks, interceptions, strip sacks for fumbles and stuff like that, putting your quarterback at risk, like you're probably just not going to do it in general.
Yeah. And for the record here, Model loves Washington plus 6.5. Model has a strong lean towards the over 47.5.
Yeah, I'm taking Washington in this game. I want them to win, but at the same time, I can just see it happening. Like I don't know. Philadelphia just seems like a city of losers.
See, like I believe it can happen. Everything in my gut is like Jalen Carter is going to destroy the middle of that offensive line.
Jaden, he's very good.
And they're missing their best offensive lineman, who happens to line up right over Jalen Carter.
But Tyler Biotish plays offensive line.
Yes, he does.
I think you're forgetting about him.
No, I know he exists. I know he's there.
Yeah, he exists. He once started in front of Brock Hoffman.
Yeah. The Brock Hoffman.
So watch out.
Yeah. If there's one thing I'm concerned about when it comes to Jaden Daniels and the Eagles defense, it's their edge rushers are not built for contain. You know, I mean, they got Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, all lighter guys who cannot really hold the point as well.
On that team?
What?
Bryce Huff is still on that team?
I think so.
Figured they would write him off like mid-season.
I mean, they pay him quite a bit of money.
Oh, I know. And he is not very well liked. Or
I don't even know if he's played much towards the end of the year, but
I stopped hearing people complain about him like week 12. I don't know if that's because he stopped getting as many snaps, or if he started playing.
Oh
better.
yeah, he hasn't really played in the playoffs. But either way,
brutal.
They don't have Brandon Graham out there. Brandon Graham can set a hard edge and contain. I don't think their edges can contain, which means when Jalen Carter breaks the middle of the pocket, Jaden Daniels has room on the outside because they can't do the crush rush to just kind of hold the spot and kind of collapse it in. That is dangerous to me.
They do have good linebackers though. They have speed at linebacker.
They have speed at edge and linebacker. They can pursue well, but I'm just not sure if that's enough.
Yeah. So, keys to victory for the Eagles. Don't turn the ball over. Get to Jaden Daniels, make his life hell, and feed Saquon.
You want to make the keys to victory prop bets? Like, what are the 3 prop bets that have to hit for the Eagles to win?
Jalen Carter over 1.5. Well, QB sacks hits are hard. I would take Saquon over on yards. I would take Jaden Daniels over on interceptions. And then Terry McLaurin under on receptions. So I think if Terry McLaurin gets going, Jaden Daniels doesn't turn the ball over, and Saquon doesn't hit his yards, you're not winning.
Yeah. I'm going to say Dallas Goedert over.
You think Dallas Goedert has to get going, though, for him to win?
Yes. I think Dallas Goedert's the key to this game.
You just said Jalen Carter was the key to the game.
No, offensively for the Eagles. I think he's the key to the Eagles' offense. Dallas Goedert over 60 yards. Because I think when you are having success with the run and they need to bring guys down in the box, that's when your tight end becomes extremely dangerous. Because that's when you can get the play fake, the RPO stuff where a linebacker doesn't know, is Dallas Goedert about to plow me over like a Mack truck, or is he going to run right by me? And they're trying to read it and they just get flat footed. Like, so that to me, that's where Dallas Goedert needs to be able to win. I'm going to go. I like the Jaden Daniels interception.
Yeah.
Because I think that does need to happen. And then I'm just gonna ride with you on the last one. Saquon Barkley over rush yards, I think, or over rush plus receiving yards. I think he needs to really have a big day, one way or the other. Or I'm just gonna go over receiving yards. I think what he does on the ground isn't as important as what he does as a receiver in this game.
Okay. Then for Washington, I'm gonna take. Can you take team total turnovers? Like, instead of like picking somebody, like, if you can bet that they get +2 in the turnover margin, I think that's the number they need. +2 in the turnover margin.
Okay, I'll allow it. Yeah.
I don't know if you can find that bet, if it's Jalen Hurts, if it's fumbles, whatever it is. I feel like that should be a bet, but
if you can't find it, DM Jay and he'll be your bookie.
I'll be your bookie on that. No, +2 in turnover margin. Jaden Daniels. Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of props here. Jaden Daniels over on rushing, I think, is what gets it done. He needs to have a big day on his legs. Keep drives alive. 3rd, 4th down like he did against the Lions. Keep drives alive. I think he'll be fine passing the ball. He's got to get his over on rushing. What's that total this week?
Let's see. I'm pulling it up right now. Not receptions, rushing yards. Jaden Daniels, all rushing yards. It's about 55.
Okay. I like that. So over on rushing, win the turnover battle, and over I was going to say team total, but that's not a good one. Let's say Zach Ertz anytime touchdown.
Okay.
Zach Ertz, the guy everybody made fun of him for signing the offseason, including me. You know what? We'll take out the turnover battle. We need Jalen Hurts over on rushing. We need Austin Eckler to have a big game. Let's take Austin Eckler over rush receiving total. And then Zach Ertz anytime touchdown.
Okay.
I think if they can get Eckler going, especially in the screen game, they can get Jalen Hurts or Jaden Daniels extending plays, keeping drives alive, and then they find Ertz for a touchdown. think they'll be looking good.
Okay. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts for the props for the Commanders to win. Start with Jalen Hurts over 24.5 pass attempts.
Oh, yeah. If they can do that, yeah.
Brian Robinson over
on carries.
37.5 rush yards. I mean, that's not, that seems, I mean, that's an automatic bet.
They don't give the ball to Brown Robinson anymore. I don't know what happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Who do they give it to?
Austin
Eckler's not
Eckler.
getting touched. His total's only at 5.5 for rush attempts.
They're not really running the ball much.
I think they need to this week. I'm going Brian Robinson over like 60 rushing yards.
Okay, let's do it. I like Brown Robinson, one of my favorite players.
And then I'm going Diami Brown over 43.5 receiving yards because he needs to catch a bomb for this to work.
He's had a huge playoffs.
Yeah, he needs to catch another deep ball.
Yep.
Because they need to respect someone other than McLaurin. You need to make them respect him. You can make if the Commanders can move the football on the ground and force the Eagles to respect Diami Brown,
Yep.
we're playing with fire.
All right. Keys to victory for both Washington and Philadelphia there. So, 5 quarterbacks made the conference championship. I got Brock Purdy. I got Ben Roethlisberger. I got Mark Sanchez. I need another hint.
Let's see. You said you got Brock Purdy, Mark Sanchez, and Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
I mean,
Flacco.
yeah, I was about to say you're missing the most elite guy on the list.
Yeah, Flacco. I knew that.
Is Delaware in the MAC?
Big Ten? No. Was he Delaware? I think
Yeah.
he was Maryland.
He was a Blue Hen.
Okay, Mac. I think that's Maction.
Okay, so when you asked for a conference tip, I was going to say MAC, but I just couldn't remember if they were MAC or
Oh,
not.
I would
and
have
was
never got that because I always think he went to Maryland for some reason.
And you're never going to get the last guy.
Never?
Never.
Year.
1999. I'll even give you the team.
Okay.
Buccaneers.
It's not Brad Johnson.
Nope.
He won the Super Bowl for him 3 years later.
Mm-hmm. As a wily vet.
What round? Early round? Or do you even know?
I have no idea.
Do you know the name? Did you know the name?
Barely. When I type his name into Google, the first thing that comes up is an author rather than a quarterback.
What's it start with?
First or last name?
Both.
SK are his initials, and he went to Tulane. Picked in the second round, pick number 50 overall.
Steve Kolzak.
Sean King.
Sean King. I know the name. Okay.
I
don't know if I know that name.
Yeah, I know the name, but like I wouldn't have guessed it. 5 rookie quarterbacks to ever start a conference championship game. Add Jaden Daniels to the list.
Yeah. I don't know how I missed Joe Flacco. Yeah, I knew Big Ben. I knew Flacco. I knew Sanchez was the one that was throwing me off.
The Sanchez.
Yeah. I'm mad I didn't get Flacco because I got the other 3 fairly quickly.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good one.
We'll go through the Josh Allen question after we talk about.
Yeah, so Josh Allen's
Buffalo
lost five playoff games in his career. Can you name the quarterbacks he lost to?
Let us know in the comments.
We'll give you a free one because we're about to go through it of what they've done since 2020. All right, so Buffalo 1.5 point underdogs in this game at Kansas City with total. Where's your total?
It's right under the spread, 48.5.
Oh, okay, 48.5. 48.5 on the total. This is America's game. I think this is America's total. I think we come together as Americans, say no punting allowed in this game, we're going over 48.5. I think we can all agree on that.
I think it's the only way to do it.
Yeah. You got two quarterbacks, two of the best quarterbacks in the league. One 2-time MVP or 3-time MVP?
2-time.
2-time MVP.
With
the 2-time.
The idea that Lamar is about to be a 3-time and
Yeah.
Mahomes is only a 2-time is pretty fucking nuts.
Well, Mahomes has 3 MVPs. They're just in Super Bowl games.
Yeah. They're just the games that really matter, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Every time these two play, it seems like it's the biggest game in Josh Allen's career. And it's just the Kansas City Invitational for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. It's like,
how can it not be? They are the obstacle that Josh Allen cannot get past.
monkey on the back.
Mm.
So Josh Allen owns this rivalry in the regular season. Absolutely owns it.
Mhm.
Has never beat him in the playoffs.
Nope.
So it doesn't matter where they play. If they play in Buffalo, they've played one time. Was the 13-second game, was that in Buffalo or was that Kansas City?
That was KC.
That was KC. Have they played in Buffalo in the playoffs?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought they had a divisional round game and then okay. So never played in Buffalo in the playoffs. They've played in Buffalo 3 times in the regular season. Buffalo is 1-2 in those games. So all of Buffalo's most of Buffalo's wins have came in Kansas City in regular season. So in these games since 2020, we have an average point of 53, and that is greatly brought down by a 37 game. And December 10th of 2023, it's been 51, 51, 37, 44, 78, 58, 62, 43. So if you throw out the 37, this game is basically guaranteed to go over.
Yeah. I mean, it has to, right? Like, this is playoff football.
Even if
the playoff games between these two have been 51, 78, and 62.
So I'll say this. If it's a low-scoring game in third, early fourth, live bet the over.
Yeah.
Because once they start scoring, they're going to start scoring. And they're just going to go back and forth, back and forth. Last man with the ball. These are giving us some of our greatest moments of this era of football. These two teams, these two quarterbacks. And
the 13-second game, I don't know if I've ever seen anything better on a football field.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen marches down the field. What do you have, like a minute 14?
Yeah,
after they
like nothing. It was like that was too easy for him, and they left no time.
Yeah, so it was get a field goal for overtime, a touchdown basically wins the game. Score with 13 seconds left. You think you've done it. Go up 2 points. And so I guess they had to have a touchdown if they were only up 2, right?
Yes.
Or did they go for 2 and not get it?
Oh my God, dude. Just looking at this. A minute 54.
Minute 54.
Josh Allen throws a 27-yard touchdown pass to Gabriel Davis to go up by 3, 29-26.
Minute 54 left.
Just 52 seconds later.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes hits Tyreek Hill for a 64-yard touchdown.
64 yards.
To go up by 4.
Up by 4. So
then,
they're up 4.
Just 49 seconds later, Josh Allen hits Gabe Davis for a 19-yard touchdown to go up 36-33. Then,
I forgot it did go to overtime. I was thinking the 13 seconds won the game.
That you're right. I did too. 13 seconds later, with 1 second on the clock, Harrison Butker hits a 49-yard field goal to tie it up. They go to overtime. Pat Mahomes hits Kelsey for an 8-yard touchdown pass. Game over.
Wow. I remember that game so
Wildest
vividly.
2 minutes in football history.
I was wearing my Bills hat. I was wearing my Mahomes jersey. I was saying "Go Sports." It was fucking incredible. There wasn't a bigger winner in the world than me that day.
Just go sports.
Somebody who loves sports, like, yeah, couldn't be a bigger winner that day. All I'm taking in this game is the over. I want the winner of this game to win the Super Bowl. I want Fat Pat and the boys to three-peat. I want Josh Allen to get his
To kill the curse of Buffalo.
Yeah.
5th time's the charm.
I'm gonna say it right now. If Buffalo wins the Super Bowl, I'm getting a Buffalo Bills tattoo. I'm doing it. I might just go full on Bills Mafia.
I mean, I
will be breaking a table on X.com, the everything app. It's all happening on X. I will be breaking a table. I will get a tattoo of what? Do I get a Josh Allen tattoo? Do I get just a Bill, or do I get a guy named Bill? Just go down the street until I find somebody named Bill, get him tattooed. I don't know.
Well, you need it's plural, right?
Multiple Bills.
Yeah, or just one Bill doesn't do it.
Yeah, I could get dollar bills tattooed on me. Say that's my Bills tattoo.
You got to find people named Bill who live in Buffalo and get a tattoo of at least 2 of them.
Of their signatures or faces?
One signature, one face, but it can't be the same guy.
Mount Rushmore of Bills in Buffalo.
Yes.
4 of them.
So, yeah. So it's just like a Mount Rushmore of Bills in Buffalo with one of the wing places right below it.
Wing nuts.
Yeah. With wing nuts right below it.
I'll do it. If Buffalo Bills fans will finance me to come out to Buffalo middle of summer, weather is nice, or I'll come for a game. Get a tattoo artist. We'll do it. We'll go to Wing Nuts. I'll get my tattoo at Wing Nuts. Of all the Bills, all of my favorite Bills can come. Well, we'll do it. Bills
Lock
Mafia.
it up.
Bills Mafia all the way.
It's happening.
I will break 7 tables.
But you have to wear your Mahomes jersey doing it.
And my Bills hat.
Yeah.
My Mahomes jersey, my Bills hat. I ordered the Bills pants today. I got the red, white, and blue. So we'll be ready. Bills Mafia, we ride.
It's gonna be a good time.
I'm so excited for this game. I mean, I don't want to pick a winner and loser in this game. I'm just taking the over and I'm cheering for sports.
One thing that makes me nervous is Joe Thuney. No one's ever said that on the face of the earth before. Joe Thuney's never made anyone nervous. But this week, he makes me nervous because he's not a tackle. And the Chiefs are structured for him to be at, like, the way their entire run scheme is set up counts on having elite guard, elite center, elite guard.
Yep.
And they don't have that anymore. And ever since they made that switch, the pass protection has been much better, but the run game has been worse.
But Hollywood Brown.
Has he caught a deep pass yet?
Almost.
Almost. He's got to get one.
I mean, he's got to work his way in. I mean, what are we at? 5 weeks now? 5 weeks now of practice with that offense. It's a big old difference from 3 weeks. I mean, so he dropped the one against the Texans, or what happened there? I can't remember. He either dropped it or it was almost intercepted, and he almost caught it. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But it was against Stingley. And nobody catches deep balls on Stingley, and he almost did. So, I mean, that's basically a deep ball catch.
Speaking of guys who don't catch deep balls, Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, he just runs fast. They get him the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and then he goes forward. I might be jumping into it too quick. One of the keys to victory for the Kansas City Chiefs this week needs to be a deep ball. A big play.
Someone needs to catch a fucking deep ball on this team.
A deep ball or a big play,
A deep
Two-
ball.
deep ball. DeAndre Hopkins.
Maybe. How many has he caught this year? I mean,
Fuck
he's not
it.
fast anymore, but
Fuck it, D-Hop down there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, he's caught 3 all year. Xavier Worthy's caught 3 all year. These guys
Deep
don't.
balls?
There are no deep passes being completed for the Chiefs right now, and like it's been that like their offense has gone away from this, and it's not just the fact that they're not like it's not a key point of their offense. It's just non-existent in their offense right now, and that needs to change
It does need to change
because they need to force the Bills to stay too high.
They're trying to play good defense, not turn the ball over. They've gotten heavily reliant on the screen game and Kelsey over the middle, and it's a recipe for success. But
well, I mean, the first time around in this game, you know what's wild? You used to say this. You used to say that the Jim Harbaugh Michigan Wolverines were built specifically to beat Ohio State.
Yep.
I will wager that this Buffalo Bills team is built specifically to beat Kansas City.
That means they won't win a Super Bowl, though. Well, I mean, Michigan did it last year, so
Yeah,
we
it
can
worked for
still do it.
Michigan. I mean,
Yeah.
it's. I look at this team; they are now built like a ball
Mahomes
control
stopper.
offense that wants to
James
keep
Cook can run
Mahomes
the ball.
off the field, and they have a defense that's going to force you to win underneath, and if you take deep shots, they might get some interceptions here or there. Like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of their whole vibe.
My thing is, we didn't really have to see it this year from Mahomes because, I mean, they were kind of in trouble, but it was always like, oh, we're playing against a lesser opponent, and I just need to go get a touchdown. Let me go get a touchdown. Oh, we're playing a good to decent team. I got to go 40 yards for a field goal. Okay, let me go get 40 yards for a field goal. Harrison Butker's money. And then the games that they lost, like the Buffalo game, it was just like, okay, well, we can afford to lose one. Like, it's no big deal. I'm really curious to see what they do, especially now that this is basically the first time all year that they're fully healthy. Skill-wise, Pacheco is fully healthy. They have both of their fast receivers, plus the DeAndre Hopkins. And then Kelsey is finally starting to I don't know if it's care or if he's getting old and he knows
He needs to keep some in the chamber.
Yeah, and I mean, what was it last week? Like 9 for 119 and a touchdown.
Yeah,
I mean, it's there when he needs it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see him open it up.
Yeah,
They just haven't had to this year. It's been a very strange team for a team going for a three-peat. They haven't really had to do much, which is crazy. Going for a three-peat, people always talk about like target on your back every week, like all this, and it's like, yeah, they played in a lot of close games, but never after any of their games that I really like, oh man, like they almost had them. It was always like, oh, okay, so you're giving the Chiefs the ball back with a minute 30, down 3, down 4, down 2. It's like, okay, well, that's a win.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, is that weird for a three-peat though? I feel like three-peat teams tend to be like more boring and tend to be more like we're really focused on what we're doing. We're not playing around on shit. And if we're
the 07
we show up
Patriots
when we need to show up, and
07 Patriots were over a three-peat, weren't they?
I think maybe.
No, the year before it was the Tom Brady ACL year, I think.
Yeah, did the Patriots ever three-peat?
No, nobody's ever three-peated.
No one?
Nobody.
Let's fact check that.
I promise you, everybody in the media has been saying it for 2 weeks, all season, basically. Cowboys did 3 out of 4. Steelers did 4 out of 6. Patriots did 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, 4 out of 7.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Chiefs are three-peating.
First one ever.
I mean, the model disagrees. Model loves Bills plus 1.5 and is maybe a slightly into the over. It's probably just avoiding it though. I'm taking KC minus 1.5, even though just last week I said I'm always taking Josh Allen money line when it's plus money, except for when it's against the Chiefs, and Pat Mahomes is only minus 1.5.
Spurs never won back-to-back.
I didn't realize that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
5 rings.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Keys to victory for the Chiefs. So I'm going Xavier Worthy, 30-plus yard reception. I'm going Isaiah Pacheco, over 32.5 rushing yards, over 50 rushing yards, if I'm being frank. Like,
Frank.
They got to be able to run the football, and they got to be able to force them high at the same time. And then on top of that, I might just go Pat Mahomes over 24.5 rushing yards because you know he's going to have that dog in him.
Yeah, I was going to say Pat Mahomes rushing yards. I mean, I don't think it's a key to victory. I think it's an easy bet. I think key to victory, we need Pacheco. We need Pacheco rushing yards. I'm going to say we need Travis Kelce to have another big game here. So
I need Chris Jones to record a sack.
Yeah, well, I like that. Chris Jones to record a sack. And then I'm going to go Travis Kelce over on touchdowns. I don't know if the number's 0.5 or 1.5. But Travis Kelce over on touchdowns. Let's just say over half touchdown. Travis Kelce needs to find the end zone. Chris Jones needs to record a sack. And Pacheco needs to get going on his feet. For the Bills, I do think Josh Allen has to have a big day on his legs, kind of like Jaden Daniels. I know James Cook is phenomenal, touchdown machine. Josh Allen's got to get it done on his legs. They have to get somebody going on that receiver group. I don't know if it's Khalil Shakir. I don't know if it's Amari Cooper. Who else do they got there in Buffalo? Keon Coleman, the rookie.
Kincaid.
Well, he's tight end.
Yeah.
Then you get one of these receivers going. So I'm going to say Amari Cooper. Everybody thought it was going to happen last week. Everybody was big on Amari props. Didn't happen. I'm taking Amari Cooper this week. If the Bills want to win, Amari Cooper's got to get going. And then I'm going to say over half an interception for Mahomes if the Bills want to win. They got to turn him over. Mahomes doesn't turn it over in the playoffs. I think what Mahomes is, I saw the stat the other day. It's like 38 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the playoffs in his career. It's crazy. He just does.
It's absolutely nuts.
He just with like a 73% completion percentage or something like that. Just crazy.
Yeah. So for mine, I'm going with. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to look something up at the same time here. Let's see. I just want to see who plays their slot. Okay. First off, I need, like you said, Josh Allen to bust off. So I need him to break their backs with some runs for the Bills to win. Over 47.5 rush yards. Second, I'm going back to the defense. I need Von Miller to have a game-clinching sack.
I almost had Von Miller. I almost threw him in there, but I think
he was paid and brought to Buffalo to beat Patrick Mahomes.
I think Patrick Mahomes turning the ball over is bigger than Von Miller having a sack. If we're talking keys to victory props.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, in my mind, that's the...
If we're just talking plays that we need to happen, if we need Von Miller to step up and have a big game, definitely a key to victory.
Yeah.
But he could go over on a sack in like the first quarter.
Yeah, but I need it to happen in the fourth quarter. I need it to happen when the Chiefs are trying to take a deep
so
shot.
Live bet.
Xavier Worthy is struggling to get off the press coverage, and Pat needs an extra second, and Hollywood Brown is running the wrong route, and Von Miller is just breathing down his neck.
So once we get to the fourth quarter, every single drive. Live bet Von Miller to get a sack on this drive.
Yeah.
Because I think you get like plus 2,500 odds every time on that if you're betting
Yeah.
live. If they get the
you
ball
can
3
find it,
times.
if you can find live betting, they'll do this. It's Von Miller to get a sack this play.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Last one I'm going with is getting a little specific here, but Trent McDuffie looked tiny trying to guard Nico Collins last week.
Well, luckily, Keon Coleman's a little boy.
I need Keon Coleman to go over 20.5 receiving yards. Really, I just need him to make a few plays downfield against Trent McDuffie, who's a hell of a cornerback. But to me, you try to force some matchups in the slot for Keon Coleman where he should be playing, but you have a team full of slot receivers, so you haven't played him there. Get him that matchup in the slot where he can really use his size and dunk. Like, I need Keon to show up.
Also, Keon Coleman, maybe the most disrespected player in the entire draft, strictly just on ricochet shots. Everybody was like, oh, Buffalo gave up the chance to get Xavier Worthy just to take Keon Coleman in the second round. Like, he got so much unnecessary hate just because Buffalo gave up their pick to Kansas City, who took Xavier Worthy, for Buffalo to take Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
And just unintentionally, just the most hate out of any player in the draft. I mean, he could just go out there and fucking ball out. Go out there, 8 catches, 124 yards, and 2 tutties, belt.
Yeah. I mean, their seasons weren't wildly different.
I'm just saying, if
Worthy had 638 yards and 6 touchdowns, Coleman had 556 and 4s. Like, Worthy's was better.
Oh, I'm not saying anything about their seasons or anything.
Oh, no, I'm just
saying if
you sparked my interest. I was curious because
I'm just saying if you're Keon Coleman, like, nobody really, I mean, outside of like your draft profile and everything, it's like nobody really dislikes you. And then all of a sudden you're the guy Buffalo took whenever they let the Chiefs get Xavier Worthy. Then all of a sudden you're the punching bag for no reason whatsoever. You got to remember that.
Man, if Xavier Worthy is the X factor in this game, that will never die.
No, if Xavier Worthy goes out there and has like 2 touchdowns, like 147 all-purpose yards, it'll be a bad day. He'd be a Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. All right. You want to get to our trivia answer and then
yeah. So I got this
call
one.
It.
We talked about this before the pod. Got this one pretty quick. So Josh Allen's lost 5 playoff games in his career. Can you name the QBs he lost those 5 games to? Obviously, Patrick Mahomes. How many games is that?
3.
3. So we got 2 games left. Joe Burrow. 4. Can you name the other one in the chat? If you're in the chat, let us know. Houston Texans
legend.
Deshaun Watson. People forget he was in the same draft with Mitchell Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bears rightfully passed on him.
Yeah, Bears made the right choice.
Yeah. But people don't talk about it enough. Bears made the right choice, passed on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't talk about that at all enough.
But, all right, that'll do it for this week. Conference championship week. So excited. Go Bills. Go Chiefs. Go Commanders. Fuck the Eagles. You got anything else?
Caca.
Nope.
And when you knock us down, on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap. Before long, we're going to be the last